Hi everyone, this is Charlie from Sapper UK TV News. I've been through a little bit of an experience since yesterday morning dinner time-ish. I started feeling a bit unwell about dinner time-ish, and as the day went on, my blood pressure rose to 220 over 180. At that point, I phoned 111 to get their opinion or their take on it. And this is at 10:55 p.m. It started with chest pains. I wrote this all down so I can get it right. It started with chest pains, racing heart rate, pain in the upper left quadrant chest and down my left arm, with numbness in the left arm as well. At 11:30, I rang 111. They asked questions and they think I'm having a heart attack. So did I, if I'm honest. They then tell me they're going to get an ambulance to me. And they said if the symptoms change, to phone 999, let them know and they'll get it rushed in. So, anyway, at 11:49 p.m, I start feeling like I've had rushy drugs. And I sort of racing heart rate, my head's going 100 miles an hour. I hadn't, by the way, I don't touch drugs. But I felt like I was on a go-go juice. And my heart rate was doing, I think it only registered 148. But it felt like it was doing 298. So anyway, I started feeling like I had racing things. My heart starts racing and I'm starting to go faint. So I ring 999 again to update them. They tell me that they can't get an ambulance to me for at least 2 to 3 hours. So could I make my own way to A&E? Considering they think I'm having a heart attack, so did 111. But I've got to make my own way to A&E. So I had to wake my wife up. She then had to get up, get dressed, and drive me to the hospital, drop me off, and come back because of the dogs. So anyway, I get to the hospital, and I was told to tell them everything I told 111 and 999. So I get up to reception. I'm booked in, told them everything that had happened, and I then sent around to the triage nurse. Nurse triages me, checks my pulse and that. And then says, right, go down, sit down over there, we'll get you when we can. Considering they think I'm having a heart attack. Then, I start feeling, how do I say, fucked up at this point, and I was shaking like a road drill. My ill wife had to, oh no, I said that, but I'm driving to A&E, University Hospital, North Staff. I go in, tell the person at the counter. Let me just get to the right page because I've got ahead of myself here. I'm booked in smart enough, triage quick enough, and then I'm told to go into a room and take a seat. So anyway, I go into this room, I sit down, takes a seat. I'm clutching at my chest at this point, my left side of my chest, with pain. Like a really heavy stabbing pain, and pain shooting down my left arm with numbness in my left arm. I'm really looking in pain now, you know what I mean? And anyway, so I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. I then get called through to the room I'd just been triaged in to have a 12-lead ECG. So they attached this 12 leads to me, and she switches it on, counts to 2 and switches it off. That was it. That was the extent of the 12-lead ECG. So I'm told to go back and wait in the room again. So I goes back, sits down, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. About 2 to 3 hours later, I get called into the examination rooms, but they're not going to examine me, they're just going to take some blood. So I goes in, they take some blood, sends me back to the room again, the waiting room. Go sit in there, we'll get you when we can. So anyway, I'm sitting there, clutching at my chest again, in agony, thinking I'm going to croak at any minute because I've already had one heart attack due to a pulmonary embolism. And I wouldn't be in that if it wasn't for my good lady. Anyway, I sitting there waiting, I'm watching YouTube videos to pass the time. And I'm sitting there watching Canadian Prepper, and all of a sudden, I'm gone. I'm out cold. I've passed out unconscious on the chair. Everyone sitting around me, including the nursing staff, think I've just gone to sleep. I'm actually unconscious. This was at 1:48, I think it was, that I'd passed out. I comes round at 5 to 6 this morning, confused, dazed, not knowing where the fucking hell I am. And I think, shit, I must have missed being called through. So I gets myself together, grabs my bag, goes out to the main reception. And I said to the woman, look, I've just passed out in there for like 4 hours unconscious, totally out of it. She said, what, did you go to sleep? I said, no, I passed out, actually passed out. And she says, oh. And she says, well, you haven't been called through yet, so you're all right. Considering I got at the hospital at around about 10 to 12, I think it was, 5 to 12, something like that. And I've still not been called through. It's at 6 o'clock, I went to the desk. 6 o'clock the next morning, considering patients who are having a heart attack are supposed to be dealt with within the golden hour for the best chance of surviving, saving the patient. So at 6 o'clock the next morning, I've still not been called in. 7 o'clock comes. A junior doctor comes in to do a roll call of the patients. So I thought, right, he'll check I'm still here. My name wasn't mentioned. So I followed him out into the main reception corridor. And I go, excuse me. I said, is this how you not treat a patient with suspected heart attack? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, I arrived here about 5 to 12 last night. I said, I've already passed out unconscious on the chair for several hours. I said, and I wake up at 5 to 6 to find out I've still not been called through. And I explained about the golden hour again. So he said, oh, that's just the NHS. He said, but there are people going ahead of you that are worse than you. Well, I've been sat in that waiting room since about 5 to 12. The only people that were in there were Muslims that must have stubbed their fucking toe, and a lad that had broke his foot and was bitching like a little girl, and another lad that was probably pissed and passed out on the floor at the back. That was the extent of the patients that were worse than somebody that's suspected to be having a heart attack. Get that, yeah? Well, at this point now, it's what, 7:30 now at this point, and the symptoms have gone. So if I was having a heart attack, it's wore off, it's still burned itself out. And about 8 o'clock, this doctor comes out, calls me through. He walks me up the corridor. He says, right, you've got to go from here and walk to AEU. Well, AEU is completely on the other side of the hospital. Considering I've got stage 2 COPD with asthma components, I've got 6 broken vertebrae, I've got osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, but he wants me to walk over the other side of the naffy hospital. I said, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. I said, I came here last night, and I go into it again. I said, I should have been dealt with within the golden hour. I said, you're now leaving me till the next naffy morning, telling me that I'm going to walk across the other side of the hospital after suspecting having a heart attack. He says, yeah. I said, it ain't happening. I'm fucking discharging myself. Get me the papers now. He says, oh, you'll have to walk around the other side of the ward for that, goes to the nurses. I thought, yeah, fucking junior doctor ain't capable, is he? But he wants more money, by the way, to his pay. So I goes out to the nurses, I want to discharge myself. Oh, well, go wait in the waiting room, I'll come and talk to you. So I goes round, anyway, she comes round, and she's there trying to encouraged me to go to AEU. You passed out, Mr. Charlie. Yeah, you know what I mean? So you could do it, get you checked out. I thought to myself, it's all this is damage limitations. They're trying to make me think now that there is something wrong so that I won't put a complaint in. Well, I'll tell you something, I'm not putting a complaint in because my parents were nurses. And I was a healthcare support worker, not a nurse. But I'm not about to tread on the profession. I'm not about to tread on the profession because you don't do that. It's like with the military. You know what I mean? You don't tread on your mates and on the profession. You don't trade out the corps or the regiment, you know what I mean, or the squadron, whatever. So it's the same in nursing. You know what I mean? If you've been in nursing, you don't tread on them and complain about them and drop them this shit. So anyway, I thought, no, I'm not going to put a complaint in. I'm going to do a fucking video about it. And I'm going to put it out on social media. I've not named names. And I've not, dropped anyone in this shit. But this needed getting out. This is the state of the sodding NHS now. And why? Because mass migration. Because of bloody mass migration. Before they came, we could barely get an appointment. There was a 2-year waiting list for cancer patients, crying out loud. Because of nothing COVID. And now, you know what I mean? I could have cloaked it last night. And they would have been none the wiser because there was nobody in the waiting room. Poor patients. You know, it would have passed out. If that had been my heart had croaked it, I'd have passed out, died there and then. They wouldn't know shit. I tell you, I fucking shit them. I'm done with the NHS, I swear to God now. The last time. You know what I mean? I've been fucked around by them twats too many fucking times now, so it ain't happening again. Just to change the subject, I have still got some merchandise if anyone's interested. A couple of t-shirts, a couple of women's tops. I've got a couple of jackets, the Sapper Prepper UK jackets. They're a bit more expensive because they're Helly Hansen jackets. They're good ones, I've got one. And I've got some big caps left and some pens and stickers for the kids. So if you're interested, email me at sapperuktv.news@gmail.com, all lowercase. A new email for the channel. I'll say that again, sapperuktv.news@gmail.com, all lowercase, all one word. And as I say, I'll probably do you a bargain because obviously it's after the last name stock. So I'll do you a deal. For the next week, I'll knock 10%, 15% off the whole range. How's that? And if we get down to the last couple of things, I'll knock you a bigger deal off. Say 20% off the last couple of these last few items. And the more you buy, I might do you a even bigger discount. But I want to get rid of the old stock so I can get new stock in. So, there you go, people. Let me know if you're interested in anything. I'll get your pictures out to you. Let you have a look. I'll tell you what sizes I've got. If I haven't got the size, I still can get the items because the brand is saved under my email account. So if you did want a Sapper Prepper UK one, but in a certain size, let me know. I can get them ordered for you. Or I can do the new one, which I'll put a picture up now, just about here, of the new logo. And I can get your t-shirts in that, or, pink caps in that, or whatever. They do a whole range of clothes. Pink caps, beanie hats, do-rags a lot. So, yeah, let me know. Shall we get on? Anyone has any opinions on this, please do feel free to drop it down in the comments. Let me know if you've had any bad experiences with the NHS. Or whether you've had any good experiences with the NHS. You might have never had a problem with them. You want to sing the praises? Do it. The comment section is where it's for. And I encourage discourse. You know what I mean? you want to have a debate? Have a debate, but keep it friendly. You know, no slagging people off, no effing and blinding. Keep it civil, okay? And have all the debates you want. I have set up a Discord account now for the channel. I'm going to put a link in the description. It's free to join. I'm not charging for it because I'm even getting rid of my Patreon account because I'm giving up charging for things like Patreon and all that. I'm not monetizing the account at all. Is all I'm doing is I'm selling a bit of merchandise for things for the channel to buy, like, you know, like cameras, things like that for the channel. Because these things they're not free. And I don't get sponsored. Nobody will sponsor me, so because I haven't got enough subscribers. But you know, I'm not bothered. I'm not doing it for the subscribers. I'm doing it because I've been permanently sick off work. I cannot go back to work because I've got a broken spine. I've got brittle bone disease. So you know, it keeps me busy. Gives me something to do. Keep me busy. So anyway, yeah, I'm going on. I'll leave you there, people. As I say, let me know down in the comments anything you want to say. I do answer all comments, so there we go. Anyway, that's it for now, people. This is Chappy Charlie signing off.